Hello, Storytime friends. Thank you so much for joining me for another lunch break Storytime this afternoon. Now, I bet you can already guess what we're talking about for Storytime today. We're going to be talking all about flowers and gardening, right? With all this beautiful new spring weather. It's getting a little warmer. It's getting to be the time for our gardening activities and maybe for our nature walks, right? For going outside and looking at all the pretty flowers. Maybe there are some in other people's gardens. Maybe there are some in the parks, some that grow on their own, like wildflowers or plants that people have planted on purpose, right? Like so many of the flowers that we're going to see today. But before we talk all about flowers, we have to sing hello to one another, right? We have to sing hello to our story time friends, right? Now, friends is just one example of the ASL, the American Sign Language signs that we're going to be including in our Hello Friends song. We also have hello, which is just tucking our thumb under our flat hand and doing a little salute from our forehead. Hello. We have our friends, right, with our two pointer fingers, and they hug. Just like real friends. I can't wait until the day when we can hug our real friends. Then if you're ready with those two, you can also add time, which is just pointing at your wrist like you're wearing a watch here and you're pointing at what time it is. And you can add say, which is just taking a flat hand and tapping it to your chin. Now, if you don't feel comfortable touching your face, I know that we're doing such a good job training ourselves not to touch our faces to stay healthy. So sometimes I just put it right in front of my chin instead. Sometimes I just don't touch my chin. But I'm here at home, that's why I'm not wearing my mask, so I'm okay touching my chin today. But if you're not, you can just put it right in front. All right, are you ready? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Oh my gosh, Storytime friends, you did such a great job. I know that I can't really hear you since this is just a pre-recorded video, but I feel that I can hear you through the magic of Storytime. I feel that I can feel your energy through the phone, coming through the phone to visit me here at home. All right, so I promised you we were going to be talking about flowers, right? Flowers. Now, flowers have a bunch of different parts to them, but these are some of the most common, right? So down in the ground, all the way down here, there are roots, right? There are roots. Now, these roots are kind of like our mouths, right? They soak up the water and the nutrients, the food from the dirt, and they send it to the plant to make it grow nice and big and strong. We have our roots down here, then we have our stem growing up, right, that holds the flower up. We have our leaves, right, that stick out from the flower. And we have our petals at the top of the flower, right? Now, flowers and plants also have some other parts, but these are our most basic. So we start with these. We learn these first. We learn the word root and stem and leaf and petal first, and then we can dig more into flower science and plant science if we like, right? Now, I bet that we have some favorite flowers out there. Do you have any favorite flowers? Do you want to tell your grown-up? I think my favorite is probably lilacs. I love lilacs. Those grow on a bush, right? Not on the ground itself, like tulips or roses, but they grow on a bush. Roses can grow on a bush or a vine sometimes too. Flowers can grow all different ways, right? They can go straight out of the ground, or they can grow on a bush or a tree or an ivy vine, right? A vine that crawls up something like our rose vine. What else? What else would be my favorite? Sunflowers, because they're so bright and yellow. They make me feel sunny, right? They make us feel sunny when we look at them. Did you tell your grown-up what your favorite is? Now, this is such a great opportunity, grown-ups, to introduce some new vocabulary words, right? Because most of us know at least a few words for specific kinds of flowers, like rose or tulip or lilac. So instead of just saying flower or look at that purple flower, look at that pretty flower, we can say look at that purple lilac. That purple lilac smells so good. And we can use those vocabulary words in context. You don't have to make it simpler, even for our tiniest Storytime friends, our babies and our toddlers. It's a great opportunity to learn some new words, to learn some new vocabulary words right in context. So we're going to learn some vocabulary words today, And if you've already known these, then that's just fine too. But we're going to learn some plant-specific vocabulary today. Now, when we want to plant something, what do we do? What do we start with? Do we plant a penny in the ground to get a flower? No, that's so silly. Do we plant candy in the ground to get a flower? No, that's so silly. What do we plant in the ground that grows into a plant or a flower? An itty-bitty seed, right? An itty-bitty seed. Now, sometimes we get our seeds in little paper packets, right? Maybe at the store, you go with your grown-up and you buy some little paper packets with lots of seeds inside. Or maybe we have some seeds left over if we're expert gardeners from last year, from the plants that we grew last year. Maybe we saved some of their seeds and we plant them this year. Now, seeds are super, super little. So when we're talking about seeds, we're going to make this little squeeze between our thumb and our finger. We're just going to pretend that we're holding that little seed. But before we can put the seed in the ground, what do we have to do? We can't just throw it on the ground. We have to dig, right? We have to dig a hole for our seed. We have to pop our seed inside that hole. Now, what else do we need to grow a flower or a plant? We need a seed. We need dirt. Do we need rain or water, right? We could water with a watering can, or we could have some rain coming down from the sky. Now, what else? Rain and dirt and seeds. What about sunshine, right? Sunshine we need to grow our plants nice and strong. We make the sun with our arms. We'll make a big circle with our arms, pretend to be the sun. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to be great at this next rhyme. You've already got these movements all down. Now, the last movement that we're going to do for our rhyme in just a second is actually not just an action with our hands, it is an American Sign Language word. So we're going to learn the word for plant or flower. Now, there are so many different ways to say plant and flower. This is just one of them. This is one of the easier ones so that our littlest friends can join along too. But there are so many separate words for different types of flowers and different types of plants that you can look up if you like, if you want to be more specific with your sign language. But for plant and flower today, for our rhyme, we're just going to use the simplest version, which is taking one hand into like a little cup, like it's a little planter where we're going to put our plant. And we take our other hand, we squeeze all the fingers together, we move it up underneath that pot, and it grows, right? It goes underneath the pot and opens up, it blooms, right? Should we start it from the beginning? One hand makes the cup, other hand goes up from underneath and blooms. Now this one takes a little bit more practice because it's a little bit more complicated than something like our hello or our friend sign. So don't worry, grown-ups, if your kiddo doesn't get it right away. You just keep signing it correctly in front of them and they will pick up on it. All right, I think we're ready for all of our actions and for our sign language word, for our rhyme. Now, this rhyme is all about gardening, so you're not going to be familiar with the words, but you are probably going to be familiar with the tune. Have you ever heard the song, The Farmer in the Dell? The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi-ho the dairy-ho, the farmer in the dell. Oh my gosh, so you guys already have the tune. All you need is the new words. So these words are all about gardening. They go like this. The gardener digs the soil. Yeah, can you dig with me like you have a little spade in your hand, right? One of those tiny shovels that gardeners use. The gardener digs the soil. The gardener digs the soil. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, the gardener digs the soil. And we have our teeny tiny little seed. Drop it in. The gardener plants the seed. The gardener plants the seed. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, the gardener plants the seed. Now what do we need? We need our water, right? So can we make rain with our fingers? The rain falls on the ground. The rain falls on the ground. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, the rain falls on the ground. And we need our sunshine. The sun shines bright and warm. The sun shines bright and warm. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, the sun shines bright and warm. All right, are you ready with your ASL word? Are you ready with your flower, your plant? For the next two verses, we're going to use that one so we get plenty of practice. We're going to see our plants start to grow, and then we're going to see those flowers bloom. You guys ready? The plants start to grow. The plants start to grow. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, the plants start to grow. Flowers all around, flowers all around. Hi-ho, the dairy-ho, flowers all around. Yay! Good job, you guys. Oh my gosh, what expert gardeners we have out there. I suspect that some of you might have helped with some planting projects. You might have helped your grown-ups with some planting projects because you guys are just too good to have never planted anything before. Oh my gosh. All right, now I mentioned before a type of flower, a tulip. Now tulips do smell really nice, but sometimes some people actually are allergic to flowers and their smells. Yeah, to the pollen that's inside a flower. Some people sneeze when they smell a flower. So we're going to do a little pretending. Even though these are just fake flowers, these aren't real. We're going to do a little pretending and a little fake sneezing, right? And when we sneeze to keep other people healthy, right, we sneeze into our elbow so that it doesn't spray all around and make everybody sick, right? So that's what we're going to practice in this rhyme. We're also going to practice a color word. Now, last week with our Earth Day story time, we practiced some color words in American Sign Language. And this week, we're going to practice those same ones and a few new ones. Now, one of our new ones is the color of our tulips today. Can you tell what color that is? Is it pink? So we're going to learn the word for pink in American Sign Language. Now, if you remember, last week when we learned red, it was our index finger, and it kind of crooked down in front of our mouth. Now, since pink is a lighter color of red, right? It's almost very close to the color red. The sign for pink is pretty close, right? Instead of one finger, we take two. We take two, our pointer finger and our middle finger. And instead of moving the pointer finger, we move the middle one. We move that down a couple of times in front of our mouth. Pink. Pink. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to get so many opportunities to practice this one. Don't worry, because we're going to do this 5 whole times, right? We have 5 tulips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do this 5 whole times. All right, are we ready? I've got to get my lyrics so that I make sure I get them all right too. 5 pink tulips in the meadow grew. I bet they smell pretty too. So I bent down to sniff, but they tickled my nose. Uh-oh, my sneeze was really powerful and away 1 tulip blows. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pink tulips in the meadow grew. I bet they smell pretty too. So I bent down to sniff one. But it tickled my nose. Oh no. Away 1 tulip blows. How many do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, right? 3 pink tulips in the meadow grew. Oh, I bet they smell pretty too. So I bent down to sniff one. Uh-oh. But it tickled my nose. Oh no. Away 1 tulip blows. Oh no, how many do we have left? Just 1. Just 2. 2 pink tulips in the meadow grew. Oh, I bet they smell pretty too. So I bent down to sniff, but it tickled my nose. Oh no, my sneeze was really powerful. Away one tulip blows. We only have one left. One pink tulip in the meadow grew. And I didn't learn my lesson, did I? I bet they smell pretty too. So I bent down to sniff. Uh-oh. But it tickled my nose. Oh, oh no! Away one tulip blows. No more tulips. My sneezes were so powerful, they all blew away. Oh my gosh, you guys are such good counters, and you're so good at learning your new vocabulary words, right? We practiced tulip in English, and we practiced pink in sign language, in American Sign Language. Now, I do really love the color pink, but I thought maybe we should do a little bit more color practice with some different colored flowers. What do you guys think? Do you like that idea? Let's get them out. Let's get our soil, right? We've got to put our soil down so that our flowers can grow. And let's get, what color flower is this one? Red, right? Let's get a red flower. Do we remember how to say red in sign language? Take our one pointer finger and we crick it down in front of our face. Good job. All right, let's see about our next flower. What color is this flower? Is it orange? We put our orange flower next to the red one inside our soil here. Now, do we remember from last week how to say orange? How we take our C hand in front of our face, we squeeze it like we're squeezing orange juice. Orange. Let's put another flower out here. Let's see. What color is this flower? Is it yellow? Let's put our yellow flower in here. Now, do we remember last week how to say yellow? Take our hand into a Y shape with our thumb and our pinky out. We twist it a little bit. Yeah. Yellow. All right, let's see which one is next. What about this one? What color is this one? Is it blue? Let's put our blue flower in our garden. Now this one is a brand new sign language word for you guys, unless you already know, which would be awesome. But it's not one we've practiced on Storytime before. So this one takes our B shape, right? Our letter B, because blue begins with the letter B. Take our B shape, right, which is just tucking our thumb in and keeping our hand flat. Turn that towards us. Now we turn it out. Us, out, us, out. Right? Should we start from the beginning? Hand, tuck our thumb in, turn toward us, and out. Blue, blue. Oh my gosh, you guys are learning so much, and I bet you're doing them really well at home. I bet we've got some really great language learners over there. All right, what about our last flower? What color is this flower? Is it purple? Put our purple flower in the garden. Now, purple is a little bit harder, kind of like our sign for friends, right? It's a little bit harder for our tiniest babies and toddlers because it's a little bit more complicated of a hand movement, right? We need a little more muscle control for this one. But that's okay. You don't have to be afraid of learning the harder words, just like you don't have to be afraid of learning harder English words, like our names for our specific kinds of flowers. Don't be afraid to use American Sign Language words that your kiddo is not ready for right away. You just keep signing it correctly in front of them and they will pick up on it, right? Practice makes progress, right? When we practice and practice, we get better and better, right? We don't have to be perfect, but we make progress. So purple starts with a V shape and we put our thumb in between that V. Now when we turn it upside down, that's our letter P. Just like with our letter B for blue, we're going to use our letter P for purple. So we make our letter P and then we twist it a little bit. Purple, purple. Should we start from the beginning? And we take our two fingers up to make the V, tuck our thumb in, turn it upside down, twist a little bit. Purple. Oh my gosh, you guys have got this. Now this rhyme is a little bit of a counting rhyme and a color rhyme both together. I'm going to get my lyrics up here so that I make sure that I get them all correct. And we're going to get our rainbow garden. Now this rhyme goes like this. Out in the garden, growing in the sun, were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty flowers. And should I pick one? And I picked one. Let's see, should I pick our red flower, right? Our red flower. Red flower. This red flower looks so pretty. I think it matches my outfit really well. I'm going to pick the red one. I'm going to pick the red one. Should we do the rhyme again? How many flowers are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Out in the garden, growing in the sun, were 4 pretty flowers. And do you want to say your name? Yeah. You picked one. Oh my gosh. Should we get the orange one for you? Should you get the orange one? Do you remember orange in American Sign Language? The orange flower. Oh my gosh, that's a great color for you. Now, how many flowers are left? 1, 2, 3. Out in the garden, growing in the sun, were 3 pretty flowers. And do you want to yell out your grown-up's name? And your grown-up picked one. Should your grown-up get the yellow one? Should your grown-up get the yellow one? Oh, what a pretty flower for your grown-up. Now, do we remember how to say yellow in American Sign Language? Our Y. And we twist it. Your grown-up got the pretty yellow flower. How many flowers are left? Just 2. Out in the garden, growing in the sun, were 2 pretty flowers. And let's see, should we have Kaba pick one, my birdie? He loves to join us at Storytime, so I think he deserves a flower. And Kaba picked one. Kaba, how about you get the blue one? Remember how to say blue in American Sign Language? We take our V hand, right, with our thumb tucked in. We turn it out. Blue. Kaba, you get the blue flower. Oh my gosh. How many flowers are left? Just one. Just our, now remember this one's the harder sign. Just our purple one, right? Our V, our thumb underneath. Turn it upside down. Purple. Out in the garden, growing in the sun, was 1 pretty flower. And should we do my kitty cats? They love to guest star on Storytime, so I think they deserve a flower too. And Skittles and Kit Kat picked one. Skittles and Kit Kat, you girls get the purple flower. All the flowers are gone. We all got a flower. Oh my gosh, you guys did such a good job with your new vocabulary words and with your counting. Man, those are some Storytime experts out there. I always say that, and I always mean it, because you guys are always pros at Storytime, even if it's your very first time, because you pick it up so fast. Grown-ups, I know that we are very jealous of how fast our kiddos can pick up new items, new words, new rhymes. Their brains are expanding and expanding right in front of our eyes, right? All right, so let's see. We learned how to plant a flower and how to take care of it, right, with our water and our sunshine. We counted some flowers, and we learned about maybe being allergic to some flowers. We did some practice sneezing. We practiced all of our colors. I think that we might be ready to start saying goodbye to one another, to start transitioning out of story time. Now, the way that we love to do that at Storytime is we love to do a little bit of an imagination meditation to close out our time together. Now, if this is your first time here, I bet you're thinking to yourself, meditation for little kiddos? I don't think that's real. And I promise you it is, because instead of meditation like you might be thinking of it, right, where we sit really still, we close our eyes and we don't think about anything, our minds are empty, empty, empty. I can't even do that, and I'm a grown-up. So what we do instead is we focus our attention, right? We turn all of our attention to one thing, which is our imagination for the day. So at lunch break story time, we imagine that we have a big mug of something hot, right? So some soup or hot cocoa with marshmallows and whipped cream, or coffee or tea. And when something is hot, we have to blow on it to cool it down. So we do that. Then we breathe in, pretend that we're going to take a drink of that thing. And then finally, we let our breath out as we pretend to feel the drink go from our throat to our chest to our tummy, right? When you drink something really hot or really cold, you can feel it move down in your body, can't you? So we're going to do that breath pattern. Out, in, out, 3 times together. And if you could only do it 1 time, or half a time, or 0 times, that's totally fine too. You listen to your body and what your body wants to do. Grown-ups, we're going to do it together, even if our kiddos don't feel like doing it, because we're going to be modeling, right? We're going to be showing them how it works. We're going to be modeling the breathing and the most important part, the slowing down during our day, right? When we start to get tense or crabby or tantrumy, that we have a way that we can slow down, listen to our bodies, and maybe help with some of those big, harder feelings that come up during the day, especially when we're stressed out, especially when we're worried. All right, are you ready? Do you have your hot drink? Ready for number 2? You ready for our last time, number 3? Oh my gosh, how does your body feel? I always feel a little bit looser after story time because during the day, and I bet we can relate out there, during the day I start to feel really tight in my body. I feel kind of clenched up, like my jaw and my fingers. I feel really clenched up and tight when I get worried or frustrated. And when I do my meditation, I can feel my body start to relax. I can feel the difference. I hope that you're feeling some good differences too in your body after that. And over time, I bet that you'll start to notice those differences more and more as you meditate more and more, right? All right, Storytime friends, it's almost time to sing our goodbye song. I know, Storytime is never long enough for me either. But if you want more Storytime magic, I have a couple tricks for you. First of all of the videos of all of our story times, our virtual story times from this past year, are all here in our video playlist. So right where you're watching this video, there are a bunch of other videos of our bedtime story times and our lunch break story times, and they're all labeled so that you can find your favorite topics or your favorite stories. You can watch and fast forward and rewind any time of the day. Our other Storytime magic that is available all day, every day, is our Dial-A-Story service. Now, our Dial-A-Story service, you don't even need the internet for. You can call using a landline or a cell phone, however you like. You're going to call into our number, which is 847-999-7600. When you call, you're going to hear a menu read by me, so you will recognize the voice, of all different chapter books and picture books. We have some for grown-ups, right? We have our One Book, One Community Read for grown-ups, which is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. We have bunches for kids and families. So we have so many options. And every week we have at least one picture book that goes with our theme. So this week we have a gardening themed picture book for you guys if you want to continue some of the gardening fun that way. And in the description for this video, you also can download or just view our Storytime handout for gardening. Now that has a bunch of books that you can put on hold for curbside pickup. It has way more rhymes than we could ever do in Storytime. And it has our extension activities, so things that you can do like crafts or play activities that help with the gardening theme, right? That continue the gardening themed fun at home for you and your family anytime you like, anytime you want a little fun. You've got all of those resources there for you. All right, now it really is time to sing our goodbye song. Now all the announcements are over. Now our goodbye song is exactly the same as our hello song, except for instead of signing the word hello, we sign and say in English the word goodbye, right? We take our hand flat and close it. Goodbye. All the rest of the sign language words and the lyrics and the tune are the same. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. goodbye. Oh, goodbye, Storytime friends. Until next time, I'm thinking of you, I'm missing you, and I'm hoping you and your families are staying nice and safe and healthy. Mwah.